Happy Halloween! It is time to check out this year's Halloween makes. So this Halloween is a little bit different than the ones before it, you know, cause plagues and stuff. So our family being a high-risk household, we aren't doing any trick-or-treating this year. But that doesn't mean we don't get to have fun. So I've come up with an activity which has nothing to do with sewing, but I'm going to share it with you anyways at the end because I'm super excited about it and it was super fun to make. But first, let's talk about the costumes. So both of our kids have been like super into pirates the last little while, which when you see the activity, it worked out kind of perfect for me. But one of the great things about pirate costumes is pirates just wear clothes. So there actually wasn't a ton of sewing to do in terms of like garments, but I feel like what makes a pirate is the accoutrement. It's the hat, it's the sword, it's the gun, it's the baldric, which is, if you don't know, because I didn't know this is what it was called, it's the belt that comes across the body that holds the sword and the gun. I just thought it was like the name of Blackadder's sidekick. But no, it's actually a thing. And I'm very fortunate that I have a husband who just knows all the things about leatherworking. So he made the kids custom, like made to measure baldricks that fit their wooden swords and their plastic pirate guns. And he did such a fantastic job on him. And the kids are absolutely thrilled with them. So that left me to sort out hats and any other sort of clothing that needed to be dealt with. I did have a jacket from a few years ago that Mina wore as a lion tamer ringmaster kind of a character, which kind of looks like, you know, navy-ish kind of a jacket. Like maybe you would have gotten it off if you took a naval ship, you would have taken that off of the captain or something. So I was like, sure, let's go with that. The other things that I had to work out were the hats. One hat, okay, it was a felt hat that I wore to a costume party, and it was one of my dear friends' stagette parties. The theme was Golden Girls, so it was like an old lady stagette theme. And so I had this black brimmed hat, and when I was done at the party, I like threw it into the costume bin, and nobody really ever played with it. So a couple of years ago, I folded it up and stitched it into a tricorn, and it got a ton of use after that. So I had that one, but it needed to be embellished, and I needed a second hat, which I had to go to 4 different thrift stores in Calgary, and I found one felt hat in the 4 stores, and it was a creamy white color. It's literally the only color I did not want this pirate hat to be. So I needed to figure out a way to color it. And what I did is I had, these are just like homemade alcohol inks. So we took out the insides from a Sharpie marker, and we just put them inside here. We pulled out the nib, put that inside here, filled it up with alcohol, gave it a shake, and then you have an alcohol ink. The thing is I don't know if you can really see it in this light, and my sun keeps disappearing, but it looks kind of purpley blue, and it's supposed to be the black one. So once they're diluted, the color doesn't really stay true. Now I had a brown one, but between diluting it, which I ended up diluting it even more, and like re-rinsing the Sharpie thing that was in here because it hadn't all come out, and adding more and more alcohol so that I would have more than just this little bottle, I knew that between it being diluted and the hat being white, it wasn't probably going to be like a really dark brown, but I thought, well, I'll end up with something that's like kind of brownish. Maybe it'll be more yellow or more pink or whatever, but it won't be creamy white. And yeah, it turned out totally pink. But since this particular pirate is insisting on wearing bright pink gumboots with her costume, it's probably fine. So I decorated both of those hats. We got a vest for one of them, and I think it all came together really, really nicely. The kids are super stoked. They put their own little spin on it, as you'll see in a moment, with, you know, I guess current pirate haute couture, let's call it. Let's take a look. First down the gangplank today, we have Captain Mina Darkheart. Always a style leader, she was the first to introduce yoga pants to the pirating world. Today she is sporting a striped boat neck topped with a pilfered vest. Ever the trendsetter, Captain Darkheart sets this ensemble off with hot pink rubber boots, showing that there is no need to sacrifice style for dry toes. Every sharpshooting scallywag needs a good gun holster, and this made-to-measure baldric does just the trick. But we all know it's the hat that makes the pirate. Darkheart is sporting a dusty rose felt tricorn with black scalloped lace and skull embellishment, set off with a luxurious black plume. And don't forget that skull and crossbone top brim trim. It's a big party here at Pirate Fashion Week, and this fearsome buccaneer just had to kick up her gumboots before hitting the gangplank. Captain Penelope, also known as Captain Snoo, wrestled this very stylish uniform coat from a naval commodore before making him walk the plank. Out at sea or digging for treasure, this young captain is always in vogue with gold tassel epaulets. Black wellies ground this look and are always a good idea when roaming the high seas or doling out mayhem. Again, we see a custom baldric with simple brass buckle, understated yet elegant, and showing that the custom baldric is this season's top ticket. The hat is black felt with pink picot trim, skull and heart ribbon, and a skull patch. And with a feather that big, nobody ever wonders who the captain is. Thank you for watching Marauder Style at Pirate Fashion Week. So those are our pirate costumes. My kids are super stoked with them, but I want to show you the activity that we're going to do, which just works so perfectly with the whole pirate thing. So, because we're not doing trick-or-treating, Calgary's actually kind of going, well, Alberta in general is going into a bit of another spike with COVID. We've decided to do a scavenger hunt, and so we've gotten some of our neighbors' permission to use their yards, and we'll use our yard. And what I've done is I have all these milk bottles, so I have a little message in a bottle with a treat, and each of these messages is sealed with wax and a little like pirate anchor. And it's a clue, it's a poem, but it's a clue as to where you need to find your next clue. And so there's an order that they have to go through. They have to figure out all of the clues. They're all things that they'll know and be able to figure out. One of them has a bit of math in it, so Mina, our oldest, is gonna have to figure out that one. And the last bottle is going to have this key in it. And this key goes to this lock. And that lock is gonna be on a chain wrapped around this. And this little treasure chest is going to have kind of their big candy haul and some other treats and stuff in there for them. So they're not going to be missing out on the fun. They're not going to be missing out on the treats, which means mom and dad are not going to be missing out on treats. And yeah, I think it's going to be super fun. So I know that had nothing to do with sewing, but I'm really excited about that whole event. And if we would have been doing this after Halloween, I would have showed you how it went, but maybe I'll put something on Instagram or something. I feel like I'm talking so fast today because every time I sit down to record, my neighbor needs to use his leaf blower, and I finally have a quiet moment. So I'm sorry if I'm talking fast. But that's all I actually had to show to you today, was the fun costumes that we made, our little what our Halloween ritual is going to be this year. I hope whatever you and your family get up to this year for Halloween, I hope that you stay safe, I hope that you have fun, and I will see you next week.